Hello, and welcome here on my studio table and on my desk here. My name is Lisbeth. I'm Danish abstract mixed media artist who likes to do many different things. As I said, I'm Danish, so pardon my bumpy English. But this video here will be a flip through of my 100-day project 2026. This year I decided to go the mixed media way. That meaning I will, as materials, I have used fabrics printed and dyed by me and friends, and papers daily printed by myself, and all sorts of bits and bobs, whatever I fancy to put on my small pieces. And not to get bored, I decided to change color scheme every week, and that has been a success for me doing that, because I didn't get bored at any time at all during these 100 days. The substrate is watercolor. Holy Moses, I can't talk today, but the substrate is a watercolor circle, and it is about 11 centimeter in diameter. And all right now they are here in this box, all 100 of them, and I will take the lid off here in a second. But if I hadn't put painter's tape on here, the lid jumps off. It nearly explodes. But hold on to your hat and glasses. In a second I will take you for a ride through all these 100 pieces here. But before we start, I just want to say thank you so much for those of you who has been supporting me by buying me a coffee at my Ko-fi account. And that account you can find the link to under the video here. And you will also under here, the little word more, find links to the playlist for this 100 days project this year, for last year and the year before. You mean 2025 and 24. I can't remember if 23 is there. It's the 8th time this year I've been doing it, but I haven't had this YouTube channel for so many years. I think here this summer I'm going into my 4th year, perhaps. Yeah, I think so. But I don't think I want to say much more now, so I will remove the tape here and the lid and take the first week out. The lid is off, and when I opened it, that was a smell of oranges coming out of the tin can here, and that is because here on the first week I have used orange peel, some the smaller ones, mandarins, the small one, clementines. I don't know what you call them in English, but the small ones was much easier to peel. And that gives that lovely smell. Another thing I just forgot to say here is I have so many things I have done, and my house is full of the things, and I can't keep it all. So I decided this year that I will sell these by weeks if anybody is interested, but I can talk a little more about it in the end, at the end of this video here. So let us take the first 100, the first 7 out here, and I think I will pull you a little more in. Whoops, sorry, in here. And when I've showed you these 7 ones, I will take a picture of all 7, a little clip of all 7. But this was day 1. Tea bag paper, orange, that is the theme here. And you can see I have written it here on the back. So day 2, all kinds of different stitches. I don't think I will comment on each and every one, because then this video will be as long as my arm, and that's not the meaning here. But I can tell you that it works very well with these peels there. You dry them and put them under heavy pressure when you dry them. That is a baby wipe with my wipe up paints and other things, and that also is a nice thing to use. And all kinds of different stitches. 5. Here, a piece of that again. 6. And the last one. So that was week 1. So all of 7 of these here for week 1. And now I will show you week 2. So in week 2 I printed all the way around each and every one with acrylic paint, and they are real leaves, these leaves here in this little series where I did go the green way here. Yeah, I think I've had it this way here. This piece of fabric where I've been stamping with archival ink, an ink pad that is archival. And this one here in the printed, home printed, painted fabrics, real leaf again, feather stitches. And I can see many of them have turned quite flat after being squeezed down in this cookie jar can. So here, this was week 2. So here they are, all 7 of them, the green way, you can say here. And I think they are quite nice. Oh, it's really starting to rain, so if you can hear some noises, that's the rain outside. And also, pardon my not so clean fingers, but I have been rust and tea dyeing, and this here is also a little crazy. I've been experimenting with a new color of nail polish, so pardon that, but that all keeps to the entertaining, I think. But here for week 3 I did go the black and white way, and in all the 7 ones here I did some assemblic writing on the cardboard here, or not cardboard, yeah, watercolor paper there. And I also use these small crosses, and they are used by people who are setting tiles up, builders, brickmen, and yeah, I can't remember what you called that kind of guy, his job. But you can see, so this I have printed myself with a little stamp I have. Day 16. And the white and black fabrics most of them are bought patchwork fabrics. I like to use them because then I can dip them in tea and get other colors there where there's white. 7. And there is a little bling bling there with some sequins on, French knots there. The crosses again, and the asymmetric writing. Yeah. And there's a piece of Koso paper, this piece there. So that was up to day 21, and there will be a little clip with all 7 of them. Oh, on to week 4, and here I did go for watercolor and sea glass. And this is watercolor because I painted with watercolor some places here. And it's quite simple one, but a nice one, I think. So that was the 22, yeah, perhaps I put it this way here. Yes, I have. I tried to write it so it goes the way I have been writing it. So let us see here, yeah. Day 23, watercolor, sea glass. And this way here. This one I really like because this edge here of the fabric is curved, and that line goes by that. And then there's all the frame fabric here. I really like this one here. Day 25. And the same thing here. Curved fabric and watercolor paint there. There are so many ways you can do these things here. So that was week 4, and I will show you all 7 of them. Here they are. Look, doesn't they look nice together? You can see there's a thread there. Just pull it up there. So on to week 5. For week 5 I went for some old book pages and a real oak leaf. And some rusty, grungy things. Day 29. And this is a piece of Koso paper, really textured. Day 30. Day 31. So this must be 32. And which way did I put that one? I did it this way here. So I've just given the leaves some layers of matte medium, so I think they will stay that way. Perhaps they would go to pieces at one point, but right now I don't think so, because the medium protects it. And this is day 34, the last one here. Made 35. Where is 4? There, yeah, they were just. Have I really put it this way? I think I would put it this way now. Yeah, you can put it whatever way you want, since it is a circle. And I will show you all 7 of them at the same. Look nice together, I think. I think there must be colors for everybody here in this 100-day project, because I try to use different color schemes. I have used different color schemes every week. So on to week 6, and here we are going really green, and I have heard that green is good for your eyes, so I hope so, but because this is a strong green. So here I used some emerald copper wire, and I have it in different colors, and then I just wiped it around several rounds and wiped the end around, and this is going again through all the pieces. So here we go with that to 36. This is a smaller one, 7, and here I put a pretty blanket stitch wheel inside here. So this must be 39, 2 ones here. Yeah, I very seldom put something nearly in the middle, but this fabric screamed, put me there, put me there. So I did that day 40, here, 41, and the last one here, feather stitches down here, and this one here also. So there will be a little clip of them all 7. So that was week 6. Already into week 7, and here I went for stamping around the circumference and using rust dyed fabrics and sealing rings. And this is the first one here in this week here, and day 43. And I have these sealing rings in different sizes, and I think this series here for week 7 is one of my favorites, but again I really like the rusty and black things together. Day 45, 46, it must be 47. Yes, and 48 pistol stitches there. And the last one, and this reminds me of the planet somehow, this little image there. Just back stitches and 2 sealing rings and stamping there. So that was 49. And again, I will show them all 7 at the same time. Oh my, doesn't this look nice? Happy about this series here. So next week here will be week 8. Week 8 I did something that isn't very political correct, because I had some rabbit fur and I have it for 40 years I think. Just a little piece of it in this purple color, and today I wouldn't dream of buying such a thing, but at that point I was attending a course where we learned to sew in fur and cut in fur, and I can remember I knitted some like gloves with no fingers in. I can't remember what they called in English, but then I put this rabbit fur here, and I also made some bracelet at one point where I use rubber things and put small fur pieces in between, but yeah, that was at another time, but why not use it when I have it? And I also decided to go for these gold labels there. They are born that way. I buy them on a sheet and they're sitting there, so I haven't cut them out myself, but it's quite dark this week here, but I think the fur looks nice. So day 50, strip of it there, and a round circle with back stitches. It's whipped running stitches. Yeah, it doesn't matter that much. And again some cross stitches here. 42 and 52, and again the lovely pistol stitches there. And I like that it is not going straight, it is curved a little, the fur there. 53, 55, 54. This must be 55. Trying to follow the line of the watercolor substrate. And this is the last one in this week. 8 here, 56. There. There will be pictures of all of them. So on with next week. We go with week 9, and for week 9 I decided to go the turquoise way and use some dried hydrangea, and they are flat, and I've get them matte medium, so I think they will stay the color here they have, at least as long as they are in the box. If I put them directly in sunlight, day, night, all day long for a very long time, perhaps they would faint. I don't know, but yeah, it isn't museum pieces I've made. I've made them for my own amusement and enjoyment, and because I like to do this challenge, and I haven't been thinking about using archival materials as such. I think the watercolor paper probably is, and I think the fabric, this will probably last the next 100 years, and again they aren't going to a museum, but I can't promise they will hold for 1,000 years. I don't think so, and nobody probably doesn't care about that. But here it is, week 57. And again, my lovely French knots here. 58, just a little one there. This was in the fabric, that's why I tried to imitate it up here with some chain stitches. And there it is again. day 60. So this must be 61 feather stitches, and here it's just running stitches, and there it is, 62, and chain stitches with a long tail. Again, I will show all 7 at the same time to you. They are. And even though I said I went turquoise here, turquoise can be greenish turquoise, it can be bluish turquoise, and you can mix a little of each in, and they can be more, it can be more or less grungy fabrics. So even though there are many different nuances and tints and tones here, they fit so nicely together, this way of doing it, I think. It makes me happy to do it this way. So that was week 9, so on to week 10. For week 10, I decided to go the rust greenish way, because many of the fabrics I have is leftovers and cut-offs from friends that are printing their fabrics themselves, or my own things I have printed, or when I'm out teaching, I have a big box, and I have all leftovers in that box I don't particularly like or want to use myself, so the students can take them that. And many times the students have the same kind of a way of working as I have. They have something they don't particularly want to save, so they put things up in that scrap box, and sometimes I dig things up again after that in that box. So it's like a circle of fabrics going around and round and round, and that I really like that. I think it's so inspiring to use other people's materials. I like that very much. That gives me a great satisfaction of seeing what other people have made and see what I can come up with by using them, and that's something I really like. Yeah, here we go. Besides the rust and greenish way, I decided to put a little stamp on, and all these stamps are Dutch old stamps, just bought in a plastic bag for nothing in our local second-hand store. It's a Red Cross store we have here where I live. So 64. I really like this stitch here, blanket stitch wheel. And also I really like seed stitches. Just running stitches. And again a circle, and the lady here inside the circle. They are quite simple, these ones here, but that's happening a lot on the fabric, so I don't mind that. And this here is 70, so at the end of week 10 there will come a little clip of them all 7. Here they are, quite yummy, I think. Just a couple of weeks more to go. Week 11, and for week 11 I decided to go the purple way, and I am not a purple girl, and this is the set I like the least, because that isn't my colors, but I know many people like purple, and sometimes it's good to push yourself or try to do something or use something you don't like. The worst thing that will happen is when you're done, you have used a little time and a very small amount of materials, and you can say, okay, I learned it was true, I didn't like that color, but perhaps you like the composition of the thing, and there's also something useful by making things, but sometimes it's good to push yourself a little. Don't so much so you sit there crying, but just a little nice push doesn't hurt anybody. But here they are again, and I don't know, it's a little metal ring. I had a bag of them from, it was many years ago when I was knitting jewelry and so on, and then I used them for something there. 71. And here I like the thread here is a color shifting thread. I think that looks nice. 72. That reminds me of a flower doing like this. A flower head of some kind. And again, I love the seed stitches, but you know that by now. This one here, that's also one of my favorite stitches, the blanket stitch. This reminds me somehow of some small people, the legs and the heads. Yeah, a little, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, this one, not so much keen about the color, but I really like that I have not some straight edges. I have gone the curved way because I have followed that line there and put that on afterwards. So composition wise, I really like this one here. And just for the fun of giggle of it, there will be a little clip with all 7 of them. So for week 12, and here I decided to go the, again, turquoise grayish grungy way. There are colors, turquoise is colors on, but they are quite grungy here in this case. They are not clear and bright. And again, this is also one of my favorites. I decided to use Tyvek, a little piece of Tyvek in every one of the pieces for this week 12. And if you want to know what Tyvek is, I can put a link to a video under here, how you can make such pieces you can use in your mixed media work. French knots and pistol stitches there. 78. Piece of it there, and chain stitches. Fern stitches and the piece there. 80. 81. Feather stitches. And here it's just straight stitches. It's quite simple, this composition, but it works because you put the thing there where the 3 fabrics are meeting or overlapping each other. And here is a half of a blanket stitch wheel. What way do I put it? This way here. A 3. Yeah, I must have mixed them up, but I don't think it matters. It belongs to this series here. And 84 there. Curved line after this line here. And again, I will show them all 7 in the same picture. Yeah, this one was 82 and not 88. I don't know. I must have been tired when I made that. But here they are, all of them. So yummy, yummy. There, that's better perhaps. On to week 12. And there I decided to paint my watercolor substrate black and use these small ends of a firecracker. I have been picking them up here the day of the 1st of January when I was not sober because I wasn't drunk, but when I was up and fit for fight again. And all the materials are, in this case, bought patchwork fabrics that has been white and black, and then I put them in tea to get this more soft color instead of a screaming white color. And here we go. Day 85. '86. And I really like the way these fabrics turned out when you dip them in tea. 7. And this one, again, I very seldom put something slam bam in the middle, but in this case, because there's a border there and a border there, it fitted nicely there. But I don't think there are very few in this series where the focal point is in the middle. It doesn't work for me normally, but in this case, and then it must be like that. Here I really like all the frayed edges here, and yeah, there 90. Yeah, I have two that says 90. The one of them must be, again, must have done a mistake, but it doesn't matter. They fit in this, you can call batch here. Here, this one. And then there was this one I was showing you, yeah. And the last one here. 91, yeah. And isn't that nice with the small red French knots there, because the pattern on the fabric was with the round black dots there. I really like this one. Coming up, a little clip of all 7. Last whole week in this 100-day project is week 13, and there I go totally rusty and using orange thread, and I use these small punched out round things I have, and this piece here is also a very heavy piece of black cardstock of some kind, and I probably have used the small things I punched out for something. I think it was in my 100-day project last year. No, not 100-day, my Stitch Circle Show challenge last year. I wanted some small, very small black round things. So I had a strip of this, and I just used a snip of it in all of them. Again, tea bag paper and some different printed and rust-dyed fabrics. 53. Yeah, cross stitches. 94. Again, my lovely blanket stitch wheel here. 95. 96. Yeah, 97. And some feather stitches there. And that goes for that way. Coming up, a little clip of all 7 of them. So here they are, the last two, 99 and 100. So this was the flip through of all of them, and I hope you think it was interesting to see them all. I also have a picture I've taken of all 100 of them. I can't video that, but I can, yeah, you can find it on Instagram also today, where this video is coming up. And I can also try to insert the photos here, but I don't think it works so good as it does if you're looking at it at Instagram, because it's photos and not a video. So as I said earlier in the video, I have so many things, so I can nearly be in my house anymore. So I will also try to sell some of the things I've been doing. And I decided this year that if anybody is interested in buying some of these pieces, I will sell them. I won't sell them one by one. I will sell them week by week. And I know that there's only 2 here, but that is another matter. But all the other weeks, I will sell all 7 at one point at the same time. So you can't say I want one in week 1 and one in week 3 and one in week and so on, because will be very confusing for everybody, I think. So if anybody is interested in buying 7 of them from one of the weeks, You probably can find my email here somewhere in my information, or you can write to me on my Facebook page, or you can message me or find my email on my website. There's several ways you can contact me. And I can already say now I have decided to sell 7 of them for 95 euros, and what that is in dollars and pounds and what currency you have where you live, I don't know, but you can probably find someplace that you can convert 95 euros to what your payment is, or what your currency is. And so of course there also will be a fee for posting it, and that is probably not cheap, because everything we send these days it costs so much in compared to what small things we are sending, and yeah, that's a shame, but that I can't do nothing about. And also I would say I have a PayPal account, so that's the way to pay me if it's so. So enough of that. Contact me if you're interested in anything. So I will just say a proper goodbye to you, and let's just tell you a little about what I have experienced this 100 days here. For me, it has been a very nice challenge because, again, as I said, I have changed color scheme every week. I have chosen a size here for each week that is a manageable size. And I've used materials and things that I like most of the times. And I think that gives you a big success rate, because if I should say something, if you want to do it next year, for instance, don't bake a bigger bread than you can eat. By that I mean, don't set your goals so high so you drop out after 7 days, or don't want to do it because something is annoying you, or make it interesting for yourself so you will keep on for these 100 days. And I will promise you something happens during these 100 days. One idea will lead to the next, and you will be thinking, oh, I can do this, oh, I can do that, and how about if I do this, and how about if I do that. I've decided here to use bits and bobs and stitching, but you can do exactly the same, only with collaging, or only doing fabrics on a scroll, or whatever you want to do for 100 days. You can make it much smaller, so you really have the time to it. Or you can say, I'm just doing watercolor. I have a book here with 100 pages that is perhaps 10 by 10 centimeters. I will do that every day, and I have 15 minutes, and that must be that. And it is good for you to do something every day, I think. But this is just my humble opinion about all this, and you may have another opinion of it. But right now I will just say thank you for all of those who have been following along with me here and give me such nice comments about this project. It's very much appreciated. So if you still are on here and want to continue looking at what I'm doing, please give my video a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That will not cost you a dime, but it is important. Yeah, for me, as a small Danish channel, not registered as an English speaking or American channel, I will be pushed back because they think I talk Danish perhaps, and I know I don't speak perfect English, but I think most of you can understand what I'm saying. But that is why it is so hard for me to come further out, I think. And I know my channel has grown, and I'm so proud of all the work I've been doing all these years and reach where I've reached now. But it is not easy, let us say it so. And I keep on as long as I enjoy it, and it's a pleasure doing for the day I don't find pleasure in it anymore, or something else is happening, I will stop, and I can do that. It's only my decisions, of course. So, but please give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. And if you have questions about anything, give me a comment or ask me this and that, and hit the notification bell if you want to. Then you can see when new videos are coming up. Oh, remember to breathe. That was a lot to say here, the last little clip. But else, I would just say, please, please, stay playful and creative and enjoy what you're doing. And don't be so hard on yourself and think that everybody else is doing much better than I am, and I can do this, and oh, there are many things wrong. Don't see it that way. Do the best you can. Nobody is obligated besides what they can. We are all on different levels, and enjoy it instead what you are doing, and enjoy the materials you have instead of envying some of all us YouTubers who have this and that, and yeah, don't do that. Don't go down that road. But else, please take care of yourself and the people around you, and also please, please be nice to everybody. Thank you, and hopefully I will see you again in a couple of days in another video. And right now I think I would do it again next year. I'm not sitting here saying I would never do this again, because I think I will. So ciao ciao, bye bye, farvel, auf Wiedersehen, adieu, bye bye.